Okay, we're told that pressure is force over area. They tell us the force is 900 newtons and the area is 60 cm squared. And we have to work out the pressure in newtons per meter squared. Okay, well, it looks easy, right? They've told us the formula, they've told us the force and the area. So yes, we do just divide 900 by 60. It's the units that make this a slightly tricky question. Okay, they've given us newtons, but they've given us the area in centimeters squared. And we have to give the answer in newtons per meter squared. And it's not as simple as just changing the newtons per centimeter squared by a factor of 100. Yes, there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, but it's centimeters squared. So it turns out you have to change it by a factor of 10,000, not just 100. I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so pressure is force over area. So the answer is going to be 900 newtons. I've got to include the units so you can see what's going on, divided by the area of 60 centimeters squared. Include the units so you can keep track of whether you're in centimeters squared or meters squared. Okay, this is non-calc, so we have to do this in our heads, sort of. Cancel a 0, 6 into 90 goes 15. Okay, so the answer is 15 newtons per centimetres squared. If you write that in your exam, you won't get full marks because, like I say, it's asked for it in newtons per metre squared. So, how do we go from newtons per centimetre squared to newtons per metre squared? Do it like this. Go off to the side and write this down. You know that 100 centimetres, okay, is 1 metre. Right? So write that down. Now, square both sides to turn it into cm squared and meters squared. Okay? So we're going to square everything on the left and we're going to square everything on the right. So 100 times 100 is 10,000. Centimetres times centimetres is centimetres squared. On the right, 1 times 1 is 1. Metres times metres, metres squared. Okay? So 100 centimetres is 1 metre, but 1 metre squared is 10,000 centimetres squared. Right, good. Next, divide both sides by 10,000 to get 1 cm squared on the left. Okay, so divide that by 10,000 and divide that by 10,000. Okay, 10,000 on the top, 10,000 on the bottom, and we're left with just 1 cm squared. So 1 cm squared is 1/10,000th of 1 metre squared. So that's 1/10,000th of 1 metre squared. Okay? So that's how it works. And what we're going to do, we're going to sub in the value of 1 centimetre squared, which is that, into the answer. Okay? So that is equal to 15 newtons. Now, on the bottom, at the moment, it's 1 cm squared. So we're going to sub in that value. So on the bottom, we've got 1/10,000th of a metre squared. Okay? So that whole thing, 1/10,000th of a metre squared, is 1 cm squared. If you like, that's the same as, you could write it like that, or if it helps, you could write it as 15 over 1 cm squared, like that. It's all the same. Good. So now you see, look at the units. We've gone from newtons per centimetre squared into newtons per metre squared. We just need to neaten up the number. So Here's the main dividing line. If you divide by something and divide by something again, it's the same as that thing being on the top. So the 10,000 flips up to the top. So that's the same as 15 times 10,000 newtons. And on the bottom, we're just left with 1 meter squared, or just meters squared. Okay? So the final answer is 150,000 newtons per meter squared. And that's how you go from newtons per centimetre squared to newtons per metre squared. And this also works with just going from metre squared to centimetre squared, or the other way around. Remember this, and if you're not sure in the exam, you don't have to remember the factor of 10,000. If you can't remember how to go from one to the other quickly, just write this down. Go off to the side of the page or on scrap paper, wherever, and just write down 1 meter equals 100 centimeters and go from there. And that's how, by following this process, you can work out how to go from centimeters squared to meters squared. Good. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please click the like button, and it would be a massive help if you could subscribe. It would also be amazing if you could support me on Patreon. All the papers and everything are on my website, drjem.com, and I'm also on social media. Thank you.